Chapter 81 to 89. While eating, I felt someone looking at me and its Demeter while chuckled a little. Together with Persephone, which also looking at me with a more obvious glance. Looking at them made me realize what it meant since we never continue chatting about the problem since there's no opportunity to talk. Using free time where everyone about to look around the big mansion. I walked toward Demeter's room. After knocking, I could hear her speaking behind the door, "Come in." She said. Inside the room is pretty much like everyone's room since we just moved in, but it looked like she already prepared a chair and a table to sit. Is it about the attacker? I asked her and Persephone that sit beside her. Demeter said, nodding to my question. So, you already trust me that much and letting me know who? Since I promise about it, I will do it till the end. I said, assuring them. It's Dionysus. Demeter said while her smile vanished from her face. Dionysus-sama? No. It must be his underling. Is it his familia member? I asked since God won't attack personally with their divinity might ruin their mortal body. Are you sure about this? I asked Demeter after thinking for a while. I'm sure about this. He even threatened me with a letter but his attack on my familia failed might be out of his equation. Demeter said while putting down her cup. I see. But still, killing God and get caught might result in me being exiled. It's pretty risky, but if the attacker got nothing to do with his familia. It could be an assassin or bounty hunter. I said making my deduction. Or it might be an Evolus member. Demeter said which made me looked at her. Still, Evolus won't appear in broad daylight and crowded place. Tell your familia to keep walking in a crowded place if there's an emergency business. Don't go out if it's not something important. The most I could do is when they attacking us directly. I couldn't help your familia in every turn. I said while looking at her. She eventually smiled again at me. No. Actually, you have helped us too much since saving my members. We about to leave Ororio for a while, and hiding somewhere. Demeter said to me. I see. Hiding where he won't know where you go. If he is looking for you too much, it will raise suspicion on him. Then, I couldn't help much but say be careful. I said to her and Persephone that made a sad face. We're here to say this and a warning. He might do something to the city. He is planning something. Demeter said warning me. I will keep it in mind. I said while smiling at her. And one more thing. Please, take care of Persephone. Demeter said which made Persephone looked at her instantly. Demeter-sama, what do you mean? I couldn't leave you alone. I'm your best fighter. What if they found you? She said since she's the captain and also the only level 3 among her familia. I also looked at Demeter and Persephone before sighed and stood up from my sit. I will, but both of you better talked about it first. I said before leaving them in the room. I could hear shouting noise after closing the door and eventually someone is crying. Saying goodbye, huh? I never thought about that. I said while a flashback sentence came in my mind. After reaching level 10 and killing the black dragon, I will pull you out from that world before you being an anomaly in that world that destroyed the balance. Malil, just what is your purpose doing this? I said slowly since it's been a long time since I heard from her. While talking slowly, Belle suddenly called me from across the hall. Ni-san. Come with us. He said which put a smile on me, coming. I said before leaving Demeter's room. You are. This place is so big. Isn't that right, Belle-sama? Lily said beside me toward Belle. The ladies already in the bath while Hestia, Belle, and Lily decided to look around before doing anything else. Yes, it's too big if I had to say. How are we supposed to clean this place up? Hestia said while walking toward the backside of the building which had outdoor training ground. Maybe we should hire maids to clean the place. Lily said giving suggestions. Maid? Why not? Belle out of the blue said without even thinking while reading the map of the house. Hearing Belle that being silent since the beginning of the tour because he tried to remember the map made us look at him with a suspicious gaze. Belle smiled in a perverted manner for once while daydreaming. After thinking about it, I guess not. It's a bad idea. Hestia said. Lily also thought so. Lily also supporting Hestia for once. Why? Belle said while Hestia and Lily already walked leaving him. Suddenly, I and Belle heard someone shouting. Let's go home already, a girl's voice said. Without Hestia and Lily, we went and looked at the source of the voice. It's from Daphne and Cassandra. Daphne's the one shouting while pulling Cassandra's clothes while the latter hanging toward our fences. You're Daphne-san and Cassandra-san. What are both of you doing here? I asked while walking toward both of them with Belle behind me. My pillow. I need my pillow. Cassandra said while shaking her head whining about it. You see. She said that, she lost her pillow. Daphne said while pointing at Cassandra. I'm not losing it. My dream said it's here. Cassandra said while whining and not let go of the fence. I told you. Stop with the dream nonsense already, Cassandra. Daphne said while pulling her even stronger. No. Please, believe me already. Cassandra said while raising her voice. Pillow, right? Is it this one? I said while pulling out a pillow from Gate of Babylon. My pillow. Cassandra said while looking at her pillow. She then looked at me, Thank you. For believing in me. She said while covering half of her face with her pillow after I gave it to her. Well. It dropped on the ground. Also. I could believe your dream but. The hardest thing to believe is, how do you tell that it's your pillow? I asked while thinking about it. Ni-san, that's rude you know. Belle said to me. Ah. Right, my bad. I said apologizing. After that Cassandra tugging Daphne's sleeve and they whispered among themselves. Really? Are you sure? Daphne said after hearing Cassandra's whisper. The latter shyly nodded while covering her face in a pillow. You, little rookie. We will meet you again. We have stuff to prepare. Tomorrow, we will meet again. Daphne said about to say goodbye. Tomorrow? Both I and Belle tilted our heads in confusion. Both of you didn't know? Daphne said in surprise. We just stared at her for a while before she sighed, you better talk with your goddess about it. It's not my place to set it. Daphne said. Alright then, see you tomorrow. I said without thinking much and both parties said goodbye to each other. Ni-san. What do you think Hestia-sama would do? Belle said asking me. If you asked me. Who do I ask? Why don't you ask her yourself? I said while both of us walked back to the house. While Belle going toward Hestia to ask about tomorrow. I went toward Demeter's room after being told by her familia. Entering the room, I went toward the sofa, and Demeter already sat there. Have you made your decision? I asked her. Persephone is in her room doing something, which made us the only person in the room. I need to ask you again. Will you take care of Persephone? She said while looking at me. Yes, I will. I answer her. Will you leave her? Demeter asked again. No, as long as she didn't ask for it. I said giving my honest answer. Do you love her? Demeter asked while her smile lessened. Love is a strong word to use. I said to her. Let me rephrase it. Do you like her? Demeter closing her eyes. I would be lying if I said no. Who in the world didn't like such a beautiful girl? I gave her my answer which brings back her smile. Ufufu. Not the answer I'm looking for but you're quite honest with yourself. Then please, take care of her. Demeter said while bowing her head to me which made me taken aback by this. Please, Demeter-sama. You don't need to do that. I said while trying to lift her up. Aegeus-san. We, God and Goddess, couldn't have a child. Even though we want to and could feel love for someone. Persephone is like a child for me. She was left in my doorstep a few days when I just leave the higher realm. I'm the one that taking care of her. Having the same hair color and eyes color, it felt like she is meant for me. My daughter. Even though she behaved differently from me. Ufufu. Thank you. Demeter said while looking at me with her smile. I let out my smile of relief. I also had to thank you for raising her to be such an excellent woman. I said to her. This is our decision. She will stay, and I will leave for a while with the other. It's not like we won't ever meet again. We will leave tomorrow using the crowd in the morning to go out. Demeter said to me. I and a few of my group will be escorting you tomorrow then. Excuse me. I said while leaving the room. Demeter had gathered her familia in the morning and about to went outside. I also already prepare everyone in my group which for some reason only consist of females. We worked in pairs and stayed in position while watching the movement of Demeter's group. Even Persephone also came with me as a pair to say goodbye. After that, Demeter got out from Orerio smoothly with her familia's privilege that sold crops from their farm to the city. This is goodbye. Mother. Persephone said after looking at her former familia walked toward a distance and went to us. Don't be sad. It's only temporary. Let's go. I said and all of us went back home. At least that's the first plan before everyone stopped by Revis's growling stomach and stopped by to eat. When we walked back home, we got to see a lot of people pouring out from our yard which made me confused. What is happening here? I asked while looking at the situation. Did your brother not told you yet? Ryu said while looking at me. No, I slept earlier before meeting him. I said while everyone that walking out from the mansion froze at their feet. Hestia-sama decided to recruit members. She posted the announcement 2 days ago. Revis said while eating her potato snack. All of you knew about this. I asked them which made them nodded. Even Persephone knew about it. So, everyone got declined by her. I said while looking at this many people standing in front of me. I don't know. Ryu said to me. Oi. You. I said calling someone that walked to me in a hurry. Yi. Yes? He said in a hurry. Have you got rejected by that goddess? I said while pointing toward Hestia that frozen while holding a piece of paper. No. We about to leave on our own. He said while being scared. I see. Alric. I'm about to let him leave before someone started yelling at me. Just let us go. Even if you're strong, we still have our right to leave. Let him go already. A dwarf said while crossing his arms which made me irritated now. I look at him with an annoyed face and a tick mark. Right. Leave. I don't need people like you either. I said while holding my smile. Ha. Need us. Isn't that the other way around? 200 million valis as debt. Your familia sure talked big. An elf said while looking proudly. 200 million valis. I asked while tilting my head and think for a while. Ah. So, you guys leave because of that? I see. I see. Leave then. I said while walking toward the crowd with my group. Then I looked at Cassandra and Daphne also about to leave. I see. So, both of you also. Look like your dream couldn't tell you everything. I said while shaking my head in disappointment. I'm sorry. Cassandra said with her hands tied together. It's okay, I get it. No one wanted to be chased by debts. Especially when they about to join. I said without even looking at them anymore. After passing the gate, none of us looked back to the people outside but instead toward the people inside. Still a few people left, which only consists of 2 people. Shakti. So, everything is done. I said after looking at her. She quickly turned around and hugged me after hearing my voice. Also, why are you here, Anna? I said with a surprise that some normal girl decided to join a familia to become an adventurer. I want to follow you, Aegeus-san. She said shyly with her face turned red while pointing at me. My surprised face quickly was gone and I smile at her, you better prepare. The world is hard by becoming an adventurer. I said and she nodded, yes. And another thing. Hestia-sama. I called Hestia that just turned around and looked at the empty yard. Take this to pay Hephaestus. I said while pouring out Valis at once which made some of the people outside looked inside but what they saw is me with a smirk looking at them. By adding salt to the wound. Goibniu came at the right time. Move. Do you think there's a show to watch or something? He said toward the crowd of people. After seeing Goibniu, I walked close to the gate. Goibniu-sama. Is there something I could help? I asked him which made him looked at me with a smile. Thank you, boy. I'm just here to give you some extra money that you gave. Here's about 150 million. We had done making your place. Goibniu said before saying goodbye. After that, another one is coming. This time it's Tsubaki with her familia. Tsubaki-san. What is it that brings you here? I asked her. I just want to deliver some of the money to you. Alright, boys. Move it. Tsubaki said which order her man to bring the money in. Please. This way. I said while opening the gate politely for my act. Of course, not forget leaving one last look at the people that decided not to join my familia. I knew it's kinda mean for them, and I totally get it why they decided not to join. No one wanted to start in the red anyway, but I just couldn't help it but sneer at them for looking down on us. After that, I went inside again and found Belle laid down on the ground. I looked at Welf. What is he doing? I said while pointing at him. I don't know. Welf just said casually. Other than that, Hestia-sama. You really are troublesome. I said to Hestia with a smile. She puffed her cheek. If you had the money, you should tell me earlier, Aegeus-kun. But, Aegeus-dano. Just how much money do you have? Mikoto asked while looking at the gold. Ah. I'm sorry for asking something like that, Aegeus-dano. Mikoto quickly said in shame. Ha ha ha. It's fine, but I actually forgot to count again. If you need anything, just tell me. I will help as much as I could. I said and went inside the mansion. After walking inside the mansion, I came out from the back toward my home that I asked from Goibniu. It's separated with flower garden, and there it is. My own home, a new building inside the mansion area. It's not as big as the mansion, but it sure is big. I already asked for a few things inside from Goibniu, which something that didn't exist in this world yet. He looked pumped when I show him the design. My home looked like a modern house from Earth that I copied, but with a lot of other stuff like onsen and stuff. Only one bedroom here, but still there's a lot of other empty rooms. I looked around the place, but now met with some situation. My bedroom got invaded. When I went there, the girls already got inside and sitting at my super large bed. Ah. Aegeus. This is really a nice place. Revis said after noticing my opening the door. Everyone also looked toward the door. I stared at them while slightly annoyed. I'm about to ask them to leave, but looking at their interaction even with the addition of Shakti and Anna, made me stop and just smile at it. Excuse me. Ugh. What a nice design. Suddenly I could hear a sound from the front door. I went there and it's Hestia and the other that get inside. Oh. It's you guys. Where's Belle? I asked them. He's still sleeping. Welf said, answering to me. I see. Maybe I should check on him. I said. Aegeus-kun. Just how much did you use to request these from Goibniu? I bet it's a lot, right? Hestia said with eyes full of money symbol. Just what do you want, Hestia-sama? I said after letting out a sigh. Why don't we got a little vacation? As a family. She said with a smile at me, which made me surprised that sentence coming from her. Yeah. Maybe we should. I said to her. After they looking around the house. I went back to the mansion to check on Belle. Oh. Look like you awake already. Belle. I said after Belle sitting up on his bed. Nisan. What happened? He asked while looking at me. Let's go to the bath first. It's been a long time. I said while we went to the hot tub together. Welf already inside soaking with the water. Both of you finally come. Welf said after noticing us. After taking a dip in, we relaxed much more. Ha. This feeling made me want to go back to sleep after all this. I said after relaxing. You looked a little better. Welf said toward Belle. Right. You laying down on the ground and turned out to be unconscious. Everyone looked surprised. I said adding in. Ahaha. I'm sorry. Belle said shyly. No need to think about it too hard. Welf said to Belle. A few moments of silence passed by. Nisan, Welf-san. Thank you, Belle said out of the blue. Why so suddenly? I asked him. Nothing. It's just felt like I need to say it. Belle said while looking at the ceiling. Even toward Lily, Mikoto-san too. Ryo-san. Shakti-san. Haruheim-san. Aisha-san. Everyone. I'm truly happy. Belle said while mentioning everyone. Because now, we can live together. Belle said, which made us look at him. NN. Yeah. I'm also thankful for all this. I might never say it personally before, but... Thank you, Belle, for being my brother. I said, but welcomed by his surprised face. Nisan. Belle looked at me. I never thought everyone would gather together. At first, it's only the three of us. But soon one by one, everyone coming together. I said while looking at the sunset outside. Right now. I'm just living in a moment. I don't know when it will last. All this. I said while making a sad smile. Ni-san. It will last forever. I believe. Belle said while looking at me with an optimistic face. He then relaxed again. I also thought about it once. When we lost in the dungeon. But we made it. With everyone working together. That's why I'm sure. Belle said while thinking about the past. About it, right. I never thought that Mikoto would be joining. Welf said after thinking for a bit. NN. Even after all that, she still tried to help us to win the war game. Even leaving her precious familia. I couldn't thank you enough. Belle said. I really can't say enough. Lily too, she taught me everything that I need to know. She's the one that made me an adventurer. My first friend. Also, there's Shakti-san. She's the one that opened up Ni-san more. Before that, Ni-san always looked lonely and alone. Ryu-san and the other also helped a lot. Belle said, which made me felt surprised. Am I that bad back then? I asked him, but he only smiled at me. Now that you said that, Belle-kun. I want to ask Aegis-san. Welf said and looked at me seriously. Ask away. I said to make him not hold back his words. If you happen to like a goddess, do you think she will answer your feeling back? Welf looked at me. Welf. Everyone had a life. Everyone had a feeling and their own thought. Even goddess not an exception. I'm sure she will. I answer him, which made us heard a sniffing sound from the wall. I also love you. Belle-kun. Hestia could be seen about to jump to this side but being held by the girls at the other side. Wait. All of you. Let me went there. Hestia said, trying to let her legs free. Kami-sama. Belle looked at the wall that had a gap at the top. How looked like our conversation being heard. I said after noticing Hestia. After that bath incident, we went toward the dining room and everyone looked shyer than usual. The dinner was quiet and everyone ate slowly except for a few people. Then, I heard a knocking sound which made me walk toward the front door, followed by Mikoto. In front of the door is surprisingly Ishtar. Mikoto. Get inside. I said, ordering Mikoto to stay away from the conversation. Boo, but. Mikoto about to rebuke my words. Don't make me repeat my words. I said, glaring at her. She flinched for a second while confused what made me angry at her. I'm sorry, but please. Just do it and not speak about this. I said to her softly and finally, she nodded and not say a word at me. I closed the door behind me and look at Ishtar. What is it, for you to came here personally? I asked her. Why the serious face? Is it that weird for a friend to visit one another? Ishtar said while smoking her pipe. I didn't even answer her question while keeping the tense look on my face. She eventually sighed after several seconds pass. I just want to notify you. I recently joined Evelyn Remain, but our purpose is different. My original purpose is to take down that bitch Freya, but doing it illegally might impact you and your family, which I rather avoid. So instead. You want me to take down Freya Familia instead, but at what cost? I said, cutting her dialogue. I got information about you protecting members from Loki Familia. I don't know if this would help you or not, but they about to send an attack on Nasus, the man-made dungeon in Deadless Street, and the Evelys already prepared for it. You better be quick. She said to me. Then, how do I find this man-made dungeon you said? I said, since it's the first time I heard about it. Use this and you will easily find it. Ishtar said while throwing me an orb with AD symbol written on it. Then, what do you want me to do with Freya Familia? I asked after receiving the orb. Just knock her down from her position as number 1 Familia and we're even. She said with a smile. That's easier than I thought. Is that enough? I asked to make sure. That's enough. She said and turned to leave. If you don't mind. I could help you lose some strain in your body too. She said, leaving the sentence to tease me. I would have to deny such an invitation, I'm afraid. I said before going back inside. Returning to the dining room. Mikoto looked at me with a concerned face. I just smiled at her and returned to my usual self. In the middle of the dinner, I said to Hestia. Hestia-sama, update my status after this. I said to her and continue eating after she nodded. Ha, your progress really did too fast, Aegeus-kun. Are you sure that you want me to hide it? We could get in a lot of trouble, you know. Hestia said after updating my status. Still level 6 is not enough. I felt something terrible is approaching. I said while down looking at my paper. If we happen to be searched by the guild, I will talk to our Inazama for this. I said while putting down the paper at Hestia's table. Is it really that easy to talk to him? Hestia said, and she took her turn look at the paper. Aegeus-kun. Let me say this right now. If you had something bothering you, please talk to me. Hestia said while looking at my back when I'm about to walk out of the room. I will. I said, and leaving her in the room. Even after I went back to my house. My room already turned into a gathering place for the girls while waiting for me. Welcome back, Ryu said after looking at me. What's with the long face? Shakti asked me. Nothing. I'm just tired, I said while laying on the bed. Anu. Aegeus. Me and the girls about to do shopping tomorrow. Can you come with us? Shakti said while laying beside me and looking at me. I closed my eyes before answering, alright, I will do it. I said and about to sleep. Then, when are you going to marry me? Shakti asked after I answer immediately. As soon as pos. Wait, what? I quickly opened my eyes. You remember, didn't you? I'm 38 and everyone already talked about it and even waiting for me to join here before talking about the topic. Shakti said while everyone turned to silence and looked at me. You don't need to wed all of us. For me, Samira, and Lena. We the non-virgin is happy with the way it is. Aisha said. I'm also not going to get his child. Lena said complaining. Shut up, Lena. Aisha scolds Lena down. Me too. Don't need to bother about me. Revis said while waving her hand without care. No one thought about you. Glutton. I said to myself hearing Revis. Even though. It's too fast for me and Anna, but please take care of us. Persephone said. P. Please take care of me. Anna said. Me too. I'm actually afraid to say this, but after hearing from Aisha-san that I'm still a virgin made me feel more confident. So, please take care of me. Haruheim said while hugging her tail. I will always follow you, Aegeus. Even if you didn't want me to stand beside you. I will walk behind you everywhere. Back said to me. Ha, all of you, made me confuse whether this has made my day or worsened my day. I don't care about being a virgin or not, but if that's what you wish for then I won't argue with it. Persephone. And also Anna. Both of you just knew me recently. Are you sure about this? Wedding is not some simple thing to do on a whim. I asked both of them and they looked certain about it. Even if you didn't care about it, we do. If you marry us the prostitutes here, your standing in the eye of the public will worsen. As someone that cares about you, I couldn't let that happen. Aisha said with a somewhat sad smile on her. Ha, alright. I won't argue with you. I said while stopping Aisha that holding herself. Then, when we should get married. Shakti said with Ryo that pushing themselves to me. Now that you said it. What about Tiona? I said which made them surprised and back to thinking, we literally forget about her. Ryo said with a horrified face. You girls could talk about it again. I will look for the ring in the meantime, okay? I said patting Ryo that closer to me and went to sleep with the girls glimmering with excitement and started talking among themselves. I woke up earlier than the other and watering the flower at the garden in front of my house. It's rare for you to wake up early, Ryo said coming from the door. Indeed. I just want to look at it for the first time. The peaceful life in the middle of the chaos that happening. I said while looking at the scenery and turned toward Ryo's smiling face. I will be going for a while. I said after walking closer to her. Is it dangerous? Ryo asked in worry. No. Not now at least. I said and went inside. Then, can you take me with you? Ryo said while following me in. Not now. I told you. I said and heading to the dining room. Everyone. Didn't all of you knew that this is my personal space or let's quote, my home, dot. I said while looking at all the people sitting at the table. Of course we knew. Hee hee. Someone answered with her irritating voice. Then, Why are all of you here? I shouted toward everyone. It's Belle, Hestia, Lily, Welf and Mikoto that also sitting here. I'm sorry, Ni-san. Belle said to me. My bad, Aegeus-san. But your food is really good, which made us didn't want to go back. Welf said while eating. I don't want to admit it openly, but it's really good, Aegeus Dano. Thank you for letting me eat here. I knew it's shameless of me, but thank you. Mikoto said with her stuffed mouth. Lily, also sorry for this, Aegeus-sama. But your food is better than any food we have eaten before. Lily said while eating. Ma. Just eat already. Don't bother with all the small stuff. Hestia said, trying to let it pass by. At least say something to me, you chibi loli goddess-sama. I lashed out at her and grabbed her on the face. Jaiya. Let me go. It hurts. Alright. I'm sorry. She said while trying to release my grip on her. Umu. My little face. Hestia said after I let her go. She kept rubbing her cheeks that turned red from being gripped. Ha. Since everyone gathered here. Let me said this at once. I said after releasing Hestia and looked at all of them. I will be away for a few days, maybe outside Ororio, I said out of the blue. Everyone stopped eating and looked at me. Before any of you said anything. This decision is final. I said while raising my hand to stop them. No. We're not gonna stop you, Ni-san. You had done enough for us. This time let us support you. Belle said while looking at me. Following Belle, everyone also smiled at me. I see. It seems that I worried for nothing. I said replying for their smile and felt relieved hearing it. After breakfast is done and I had nothing to prepare before I leave. I went toward the gate followed by everyone saying goodbye and to take care of myself. I don't know how long I would be gone. So saying going outside the Ororio will settle the reason for it. Walking a few blocks of building, I quickly went toward Deadless Street. Just when I arrived, I could see a lot of Loki Familia's members, even including Loki herself came down here. She looked like meeting with another goddess with an old lady's appearance. Her divinity leaking which made it easier to notice. Then someone jumped down from the roof which I could notice from the alley I'm in. It's Philvis Chalia, captain from Dionysus Familia gathered with the crowd. She had black hair with red eyes on her face. Her expression looked cold as if nothing had no value around her. Looked like Ishtar really did give me the correct information. I thought while looking at them, but then after following them walking toward the sewer. They found a gate with a rather devilish design. If they already found the gate, what's the use of this item? I thought while looking at a ball with a D symbol on it. When looking at it, the door opened by itself which startled all of us, even me at the back spying on them. It looked suspicious. Loki said while looking at a dark hallway in front of her, then turned to her Familia member. I won't be coming with you all. So, stay safe all of you. So that I could touch all of you again. Ehehe. She said while making a perverted face at the end of her sentence. After hearing, Loki said that which she said with a loud voice, and I couldn't hear that much what they are talking from this distance about what they about to do. Everyone entering the entrance in a group leaving Loki and Riveria there. You can come out. Loki said while looking at my way. Riveria also startled and looked behind. You really did notice me. Loki-sama. I said while walking toward her and removing my cloak down. I never thought of meeting you here. Are you also part of this? Loki said while looking at me with a scary look on her face. Do you even need to ask? I said to her, but then I felt something moving in the corner of my eyes. The eyeball of the gargoyle status on top of the door moved. I quickly destroy all the statuses in reflex. Looked like you found something. Loki said after looking at the falling stone. You got your answer yet? I asked her. Yeah. You just arrived here recently, which reduced my suspicion, and also you are a member from that chibi familia. Loki said and turned into her usual smiling face. If you're not part of this, then what brings you here, Aegeus-kun? Loki said with her squinted eyes. At first, I'm worried since as you can see, the people behind this welcomed your familia easily, but now it turned into curiosity. I said while looking at the door that shut by itself. You are too soft, you know that. If I'm the people that like to use every meant to have you, I won't let Tiona go at all. Loki said while smiling and looking at my back. Then, if you are that kind of person, pray that you could still keep your seat as the strongest familia. I said while glaring at her with my red eyes. True. You had more than enough power. Even hearing from Finn, you still had more secrets. Look like I don't need to worry at all. Help me protect them, will you? Loki said before walking a few steps back along with Riveria to give me some space to work with. If I happen to pass by, I said before I stabbed the door open with everything in Gate of Babylon. After bursting the door open, I went along with the hallway as fast as I could while destroying the statue that looked suspicious from a distance. After that, the road got split, which made me wonder where should I go before I heard a scream from the left road. Even after I tried to keep telling myself that everything is gonna be okay, I couldn't but feel worried after hearing Tiona's scream from the hallway. Without a second thought, I rushed to my left and ended up in a room. The space is too big with a trapdoor in the middle of the room that started closing and a man standing above the stairs. Just before the door closed, Ace could be seen jumping out from the trapdoor and the man about to enter a hallway. Ace stunned for a second after noticing another presence of people wearing a cloak behind her but insist on chasing the man. He had messy gray hair and looked like a mummy walking. He didn't even scare of Ace dashing about to stab him. My job here is done. Now, I could get back to work, he said toward Ace before sliding some of his hair that covered his left eye. The same jewel that I got from Ishtar with a D symbol on it. After the jewel that he planted in his eyes was seen, a door suddenly slammed down in front of Ace, stopping her blade from advancing further. Ace looked at everything in the room. All the doors shut closed, but then she looked at me and instantly went on alert. Who are you? She shouted, but without waiting for my answer tried to attack me. Relax, Ace, I said while deflecting her blade and dodged to the side. Aegeus? She said while tilting her head to the side. NN. It's me, I said while lowering the hood down. What are you doing here? She asked again in confusion. Now is not the time to talk about it. Should we went to the others? I asked her, since everyone might get trapped in it. Ace also thought the same while sheathing her sword. How do we go down? Ace asked me. I want to try something. Let's see, how do you use this? I said while taking out the jewel from Gate of Babylon, letting it stare at the gate on the floor. The trapdoor snapped open, showing a giant hole, and both of us jumped without even thinking twice. While falling down, I could see that the hole below got divided into 4 areas. We just fell from a giant trapdoor and met with another 4 smaller trapdoors that divided the areas. Using the jewel, I opened all 4 trapdoors and met with a scene of an ambush on all sides. Ace, I shouted to wake her up. Go, help the other, I said quickly while Ace jumped to the right side and I go to the left side. Each of us helping 2 areas. On my side, there's Lena and her companion fighting monster, and Gareth with his group fighting people that using suicide attack with explosives to bring them down. I quickly opened Gate of Babylon and rained down the weapon on both sides while jumped down toward Lena and her companion to save them. A few of them got injured and some even almost lost their limbs. Aegeus-sama, one of them called me since I got my head exposed. Stop talking. Help the other. I will bring all of you after dealing with this, I said while helping the weakest group, since I'm sure Gareth would manage his side after my help. I killed all of the monsters that attacked us while using Pain Breaker to help all of them at once, but the monster kept on rushing out from the hallways like ants. Grab on tight, I said while I started throwing them one by one toward Gareth's side after healing them. After I'm the only one alive, I jumped, leaving the room while closing the trapdoor again with the jewel. Just as I thought, Ace still hasn't done dealing with Tiona's side that got attacked with an acid monster that continuously squirting acid at them. Tiona, Ace, use this, I said, and throw them some of the weapons I had. Without a second thought, I jumped toward Tiona's side. Her group only consists of 3 people and she got bound by thorn whip all over her body. Finally, I could see the attacker. After I said that, I opened Gate of Babylon and impaled every single one of them to the wall. Are you guys okay? I said and relaxed a little. Fighting alone and protecting some group of people really felt different. I even did it unconsciously. Jumped back and regroup, I said while carrying someone that bleeding and had no power left to jump back up. We're regrouping at Gareth's side where the room got wrecked from the explosion. Tiona's side also finished with the monster. I already closed all the doors to prevent them from entering this room. What is actually happening? I asked them after giving them treatment. We didn't know. When we arrived in the room, we found that man, Barca, saying that he will bring all of us to the deepest abyss. That's all before suddenly we fell here. Gareth said while cracking his joints. Aegeus. Tiona about to jump on me, but suddenly we heard an echo of a cry from the tunnel in front of us. This roar. It feels familiar. I said while stood up and looked at the direction. You can't be any more wrong about that. Gareth said and tried to stand up. Demi-spirit. Ace said while looking in the same direction. We have to hurry. It's running on a rampage. I said. How do you know? Gareth asked me. Feeling. I said, and we started running there. We moved in a hurry through the labyrinth and arrived at another big space room. Arriving there, we met with the other member from Loki Familia. Most of them got carried and injured. Even Finn himself being carried by Raoul, the black-haired boy. Ufufu. Look like you still survive, Finn. Someone said above the stairs with a demi-spirit behind him. And you are? I asked him since he just revealed his face. I'm Olivas Act. Ahahaha. The Chosen. He started to talk about himself in a high manner, but then I stabbed him on the chest while my spear disappeared after doing its job. Just name would suffice. I said while he's still laughing. Hehehe. Do you think it would ended up the same? Olivas laughed loudly. Have we met before? I asked him confusingly while thinking to myself, well. He's dead. Sooner or later, but he didn't seem to notice. I stabbed him with Gibalg after all. You were there to save those girls in Deadless Street. Do you think I couldn't get a glimpse of your face when you hit me? Olivas said, which made me remember Demeter, Familia and Persephone. I see. It's you. Let's see if you survive today. I said and about to launch my swords, but the demi-spirit started to get agitated. Ahahaha. Jupiter. Arya. I will eat both of you and took your place, Jupiter. It said while using the body of a woman that lost her sanity. Look like we have to postpone our fight. Ehehe. Olivas said, and the demi-spirit already started rampaging. Its body took a shape of a bull, with a body of a woman on top of its head. She more looked like a centaur but with a big bull's body. The size might be compared to the demi-spirit at the dungeon. Being caught off guard. She already charged at me and suddenly appearing at my sight and hit me flying across the room. Aegeus. Ace and Tiona said at the same time. Everyone prepare for battle. Bring the injury toward the hall. Gareth said and Ace. Tiona looked back at the demi-spirit that's smiling. Have all of you fallen this low? We're the strongest Familia. If the enemy is in front of us. Gareth said while lifting his sword. We will crush them all, Tiona said with a smile. The demi-spirit just smiled while ignoring them and about to charge at me again. Gareth, Tiona, Tioni, and Ace, all of them stood in her way about to block the monster. Since everyone that injured also behind them. Raoul grew his courage in trying to get me out. He walked toward the hole where I caved in, but he stopped and started shivering. Together with the demi-spirit stopped her advanced. Inside the hole, two red light coming from my eyes gazed at them. I never thought that your movement is this fast. Just how much magic stone do you eat? I said while the wall started shaking. Move, Raoul. I said and the whole wall blasted open. I never thought I would find a good sparring partner here. I said and closing gate of Babylon one by one leaving few weapons hanging in the air. Aegeus. Tiona looked behind her but quickly being held by Gareth. Tiona, get back. I had a feeling he's going all out. Gareth said and looked at the others. Everyone nodded and start making space for us. After looking at their space I could use. I just felt something running through my face. I touched it and take a good look at it. Blood? How long had it been for me to look at it again? I said after my lips started to smirk. Let's start with this. I said while using harp. The scythe that Medusa used. After picking up the weapon, I dashed and she looked taken aback for a while before jumped into clash with me. The clash ended up in a draw which made us go in the opposite direction at a high speed. Don't die on me yet. I said and tried to master every weapon available. At this moment, the world turned silent. Everything that mattered is only me, my weapons, and the enemy that I face. After several clashes and weapon changes, we destroyed the entire room, even wall, and already enter a new area. We wrecked down the entire floor. Right now, we stood at some distance. She could see me and I could see her. Her smiling face had long gone from her face. Meanwhile, having a sparring partner that not easily broken made me reach a new level of mastery. Ahahaha. Come. I taunted her, which made her about to charge at me. Mad enhancement. I said out loud, and a red tattoo started appearing all over my body. Everything could be seen through my tattered clothes. My eyes turned red, bloodshot. A blood-red aura oozing from my body. The demi-spirit charged at me at the same time as I dashed at her. We're now fighting with pure strength. Collide between the bull's head with my fist, create lightning that roars across the floor, creating shockwave that blew everyone from the place where they're standing. I tore the horns apart. Punch a hole in her body. I lost sight of everything. It felt like being drowned in anger, but you're free. It's dark, hard to breathe. Everything felt peaceful. The next thing that I knew is I'm sitting on the ground with my hand gripping at a cracked magic stone while being hugged by Ace and Tiona. I could hear the sound of sobbing from them. They didn't even realize that I'm conscious. I raised up my left hand and tapped Tiona on the shoulder. It's okay. Everything is alright, I said slowly, which made them gain some distance from me and looked at me in the eyes. After they took some distance, I could see that my body all bloody, even around me there's only blood. I didn't even know anymore whose blood is it. Don't do that again. We knew you could end it earlier, but why would you do a way around it? We were worried, you know. Even for you to lose consciousness like that. Tiona said while lightly giving me a fist. I'm sorry, I said to her and looked at Ace. She looked at me for a moment before puffing her cheeks and looked away. No comment. Really? I asked her, and she kept doing it even with tears running on her cheeks. I'm sorry if it's not the right moment. But Aegis-sama. Suddenly someone said beside us, which made us look. It's Anna Kitty, that prostrating herself toward us with a worried look. Please, save the others, she said while I take a look behind her. Everything surrounding me had no shape. It's a wreck down here. Without answering her, I quickly healed all of them with Pain Breaker. Did I do all that? I asked Tiona while looking around, but before she asked, my sight landed on someone. I faked my smile while moving Tiona and Ace to the side with my reasoning to stand up. Both of them cooperatively moved, with Ace still being mad at me. But then I dashed, which made them shocked. Not just Ace and Tiona, but everyone that just got healed or the one that's still fine and resting. The most shocked person is Lafia, since I charged my way toward her. She started closing her eyes, but nothing happened. 1 second, 2 seconds she waited, and she tried to open her eye a little to take a good peek. She started following everyone's gaze and turned to shocked when looking at the scene. I held Philvis's neck in my hand while lifting her up from the ground. You had too much power in your arm for a mage, I see, I said while Philvis trying to remove my arm from her neck. Let me down, she said slowly toward me. Aegeus, what are you doing? Lafia asked me while shaking. I looked at her for a second before turning back to Philvis. Maybe we should move to a different place, I said while brought Philvis to a distance from Loki Familia. I threw her on the ground while she started checking her neck. Let's make this quick, I said while looking toward Loki Familia. They started to chase me from the looks of it, I said. Let's make this quick. I glared at her after chopping her right hand that rustling behind her trying to grab her wand. Gaha. She shortly screamed in pain, but then a new hand could be seen growing again. Ha. Ha. What do you want? She said, breathing raggedly while looking at me with her sweat starting to flow on her face. Do you want to go back, living a normal life, or you will keep tricking her and die here right now? I asked her while looking at Lafia that's starting to run after tripping. I can't. If you could end me, you better do it now, she said while looking away. I see. You want to, but you can't. Then let me help you with that magic stone of yours, I said while stabbing her with Rule Breaker. Lafia and the others stopped running when they saw Philvis got electrocuted by the purple lightning. No! Lafia screamed, watching her friends scream from a distance. I looked at them after the scream. Lafia got down to the ground at the same time as Philvis lost her consciousness. Tiona and Ace quickly moved to support Lafia. Tioni got agitated and instead run at me with anger expression. I thought you had a heart, she said while entering berserk mode, then aiming a punch at me. I had no time to explain anything and I don't need to explain everything I do. So instead of just standing there and do nothing, I blocked her punch with ease. Tioni quickly rotated her body and did a roundhouse kick at me, but too slow in my eyes. I just gave a slight kick to her other leg that worked as a pivot for the whole rotation and slammed her down by the neck. Tioni, even if I saw you as a family, when you aiming your killing intent at me, I won't go easy on you, I said while restraining her movement. Shut up. You said it yourself, everything that happened in the past life would stay in the past. I will never be your family in this life, Tioni said while pushing herself to move, ignoring the damage to her arm and kicking me in the face. I let her kick me and send me towards some distance before I wipe a trickle of blood that came from my lips. I see. So, this is the end of the road then. Just like the other road, I said softly, which only let her heard me, but the other thing that made me wonder, didn't they had saw me use rule breaker on Revis? I thought to myself. Before she responded to me, the other hot-tempered person also came toward me. It's Bet that coming and aiming his knives at me. You bastard, he shouted, and his knives start spitting fire, which then swallowed by his leg's armor. The crystal in his leg's armor turned red and he tried to kick me with it. Looking at Bet made me smile at him, but then I vanished from his sight. Above you, Tioni said, which made Bet look behind him, but everything is too late. I gave him a kick that made him landed on the ground and stepped on him. Weak. Even right now, your weakness led another person around you to be killed, I said while glaring at him from above. I don't need to hear from you, he said while pushing his body from the ground. I kept pushing him down, but Tioni already came again attacking me, which made me jump back. Both of them charged together, but surprisingly, Tioni got blocked by Tiona, and Bet got blocked by Ace. Tioni, stop this. You don't understand, Tiona said, trying to reason with her sister. What I didn't get. Can't you see what he did? Tioni said while glaring at Tiona. Bet too. Stop, Ace said while looking serious. Everyone stand down, Gareth shouted behind them, which made everything stop. Unfortunately, I couldn't stop my laugh, ha. I laughed rather loudly after realizing something. Aegeus-kun, don't make it worse, Gareth said to me. Right. I'm sorry, I said while holding my laughter. Are you trying to mock us? Tioni said while tightened her grip. No. It's just funny how you used excuses like that to fight me, I said while walking away. What do you mean? Tioni said. You knew it yourself. Even Bet knew why he tried to fight me, I said, leaving the group. Tioni looked at Bet that already turned calm rather fast. Bet just clicked his tongue after got found it out. He's right. It's not like you at all to get agitated this quickly, Finn said while holding his wound and walked wobbly. Captain, Tioni said in a hurry and tried to support him. I'm fine, Tioni. Rather than that, we should go back to the surface, Finn said while everyone that watching us already looked ready and confused by the fight. Finn, I will take her, I said to Finn while lifting Philvis up. You. Tioni about to said something, but Finn lifted his arm to stop Tioni. Finn forcing his smile at me since the wounds still hurt and said, sure, before turned back to Tioni. She's not dead. Rather, he helped her, Finn said toward Tioni. But he. Tioni about to rebuke him, but Finn just gave a heavy sigh at her. You should pay attention more when he used that weird sword, Finn said in a tired tone. I'm sorry if I did something to you. If you keep denying me, just said it. I will be gone forever anyway, I said, leaving my last sentence to Tioni's ear and left with Philvis on my shoulder and gone from that place. Tioni got startled and turned her head to look at me before I vanished from her sight. My name is Tioni Hiryut. It's been a few days since I felt that I lost something important in life. I'm not my sister that always smiling like an idiot person. While everyone celebrating that we just finished our investigation without any casualties, I stood alone on the roof watching the moon, contemplating everything that happened in my life. I knew my own reason from being agitated to fight Aegeus back in Knossos, but I just couldn't admit it. Yes, I have been love-struck. Not only once but twice in my life. The first time when I and my sister arrived in Orio. I got beaten easily by our captain, Fin Dame. While the other is just recently, Aegeus Cranel. The man that my sister loved. Part of me didn't want to admit this feeling. Everyone knew that I chased Captain all the time, I just can't move easily toward another person, but even after all the conflicted in my heart. Everything never faded away. I do like him. Ah. This is frustrating. How can I not like him after he fought like that? I said while remembering how he fought the demi-spirit in Knossos. Another side of him that never been shown, which I thought he would never have. The brutality and viciousness of the fight. Pummeling all on his way without any care whatsoever about any other thing. Erg. This is frustrating. If only Captain the only one. I kept on shouting and stomping the roof below me and murmured my last sentence. Ah. You're here. Tioni. Suddenly someone arrived beside me. Tiona. My name is Tiona Hiriut. I had a sister, her name is Tioni. For some reason, these few days had been bad for her. She only came out from her room to eat and training. Even when training she still lost herself in her own thought. I love my sister, we had been together since small, but then I found the person I like. Even though it's sad that we would be apart from each other. I got my release letter today. You can leave whenever you feel like it. Loki said to me after giving me the paper. At first, I felt happy that I wanted to jump and shout about it, but something stopped me. When I thought about my sister this few days, I knew that I had to talk with her before leaving. Today, she's missing when supper time. I quickly left the room and searched for her. When I entered our room, I could hear her shouting above the roof. Tioni? I said when hearing the roar. I got out from the window and jumped toward the roof. Ah. You're here. Tioni. I said when looking at her messy hair. What are you doing up here? She said while avoid looking at me. I scratched my cheek trying to find any words. Giving up trying to think hard, I walked and sit next to her. The moon looked beautiful, right? It's about time for Moon Festival. I asked my sister. Ha. Are you coming here just to said that? Tioni said while I could feel that she started getting irritated. I lower my head down before sighing. I'm here to say sorry. I said while feeling sad. What do you feel sorry for? I should be the one said that. I mean, I attacked your lover back then. Tioni said while the situation turned rather gloomy. I'm leaving. I said again, which made her look at me. Her mouth opened but no words coming out from it. I'm sorry. Tioni. Even after I said that we will always be together. Looked like I'm the one that breaking the promise. I said while smiling at her. But soon, I felt something running down from my eyes. What is this? Water? I asked while trying to wipe it away. I looked toward my sister that started crying. Deep inside, I don't want her to leave. I wanted everything to stay the same, but at the same time, I envy her and everyone else. They got something to move forward. I'm always being left behind. Even back then, Tiona is the first one to ask Callie for leaving Telskura. I'm only following her but always behaved like I'm the one that led her around. I hate this feeling. The feeling that always being left behind. I hate all of this. I unconsciously shouted out loud, which made Tiona stunned looking at me. GGJRR. I won't lose to you. Just watch. I said and jumped down from the roof. I had made my decision, this time. I will make my own decision and walked on it. After my sister shouted out of the blue. I dazed for a second and she's gone. That night, I sleep alone. Not even Tioni went back to the room. I felt a little bit relieved after saying that, but still sad leaving everyone from Loki Familia. Everyone is like a family to me, but I also wanted to spend my time more with Aegeus and the other. That night, I slept rather late and resulting in me waking up late for morning practice. I woke up immediately, but then I just realized that I'm leaving today, so I could relax a bit and not go to the training ground. I already packed up my stuff last night and now leaving felt awkward after all the goodbye yesterday. So, I tried to sneak up and leaving without anyone noticing me, including Tioni. I succeeded sneaking out and now I walked while humming toward Aegeus's address. It should be right here, right? I asked while looking at a quite big mansion. It's not as big as Twilight Mansion, but it got quite a space. Excuse me. I shouted and rang the doorbell. 1 second. I could hear someone saying behind the door and opened it. Ah. Haruheim. How are you? I quickly asked her when she opened the door. Tiona-san. I'm good. Thank you for asking. Anyway, please come inside. Haruheim said while showing me the way toward Hestia for the first greeting. We went toward the room on the east side of the mansion and Haruheim opened the door. You're slow. Someone said. She's the one I knew best, the voice that I always heard every day in my life. Tioni? What are you doing here? I asked while somewhat confused about all this. I told you that I won't lose to you. So, I'm joining in first. Tioni said while looking at me. Her sentence got a little late to be registered to my mind before I jumped at her with joy. Tioni. I shouted while tried to hug her. Quit it. We're in front of Hestia-sama. Tioni said while moving my face away. Ahaha. It's okay. It's okay. Hestia said while looking at us, siblings. By the way, Hestia-sama. Where's Aegeus? I asked, which she quickly made a troubled face. He. Hestia tried to answer but nothing came from it. Aegeus just went to the Colosseum. He challenged everyone in the city to fight him. Haruheim said without any slight worry in her tone. Ha. That child really is reckless. Even though he just got back beaten like that few days ago. Hestia said while sighing heavily. Hestia-sama. I had done watering the plant. Someone suddenly came in. Tiona-san. Tioni-san. She asked while looking at both of us. Philvis-san. Both of us said together. Are you okay? Tioni asked quickly toward her. Yes. I never felt better. How is Lafia? She said smiling. She's fine. Even though she passed out when you got stabbed by Aegeus, but Finn explained to us about the effect. Tiona said to Philvis. We should really pay more attention next time. Tioni said while blushing from what she did. Maybe we should talk while bathing together. Mikoto suddenly barged in the conversation while trying to show the bathroom to Tiona and Tioni. After that, I got dragged together with Tioni toward the bath where surprisingly, everyone gathered there. If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later, bye bye.